Hey, horror fans, once again, it is me, the Horror Miser Monty G. It's time to do another horror movie review. This time we're going to review the movie called Hunted. Yes. Now, Hunted is a 2020 Belgian-French-Irish survival horror movie. It was directed by Vincent Paramod. I think I pronounced his name right. It was also written by him and Leah Perlet. I have a hard time pronouncing some of these names. This movie stars Lucy DeBay, or Ari Warthaler, and Cian O'Brien. Now, this particular film, what started as a flirtatious encounter at a bar, turns into a life or death struggle as Eve becomes the target of a misogynistic plot against her. Yes. Now, throughout the years, we've had seen many versions of Little Red Riding Hood, especially in the horror movies. Whether it's 1984's The Company of Wolves, 2010's Red Werewolf Hunter, or 2011 film Red Riding Hood starring Amanda Seyfried, there have been plenty of versions of the fairy tale written by the Brothers Grimm. Yeah, there are plenty of them, even the children's stories. Now, in this particular version, we're introduced to Eve, who, after having a very bad, shitty day, as she states, goes to the local bar to unwind and have some fun. She's had a very bad day. Her boyfriend's been begging her about the new apartment, so she says, F it, I'm going to go out and blow off some steam. So she goes out, blows off some steam, and have quite a good time. Now, after meeting and almost hooking up with a handsome dude, the encounter takes a frightening turn, and Eve later finds herself stranded in the forest where she has to do her best to fight off against the wolves. You love that? Wolves. Now, it's obvious that French filmmaker Vincent Paramod was influenced by Little Red Riding Hood, as this story has similar elements to that very favorite fairy tale. I mean, when you see Eve, played by Belgian actress Lucy DeBay, she's wearing a red hoodie when she heads out to the bar. Now, talk about symbolism. You can't help but take that, we got the Little Red Riding Hood story here. Now, Vincent does a good job with the forest setting that takes place right around the end of the first act of the movie. It's dark, it's dreary, it's eerie looking, there's shadows all over the place and fog all around that surrounds. It's a great way to set up the horror movie and the isolation that it presents for Eve. Now, it also presents the right amount of tension and suspense for Eve to be in. I mean, there's no escape for her. She's isolated and alone while at the same time trying her best to avoid being seen by the wolves. No, I will have to give credit to Lucy DeBay. She's pretty good at Eve. She plays her as scared, frightening, and a terrified woman at first. I mean, all she wanted to do was to come out and have some fun and unwind, and all of a sudden the things take a 360-degree turn, and now she's got to fight for her life. She's scared, she's terrified, and all she wants to do is survive and get the hell out of this forest. Now, as the movie progresses, she becomes something of a badass. She begins to fight back against the wolves. It's a nice twist that Vincent and his writing partner Leah Paulnet have thrown in for this particular story. Now, I'm pretty sure we've seen other particular versions of Little Red Riding Hood where the heroine, Red Riding Hood, actually becomes a protagonist. She's the superhero. She's the badass. That's something that we saw in, I believe it came on the Sci-Fi Channel, was the Red Werewolf Hunter, where we actually see her and her family are a bunch of werewolf hunters. As opposed to her being the victim, she is now the hunter. Now, while I was impressed with Lucy DeBay's character Eve, I was not impressed with the wolves, though. Now, he's only credited as the guy. Belgian actress Ari Woodhalter, he's okay. Yes, we learned that this guy is sick and twisted and he needs to get his ass kicked because he's just such a terrible guy, but he doesn't present the type of threat that you need for this type of film. Yeah, we don't like him and his character is set up, but I don't like I don't know if it's the actor or how the story is filmed, or not filmed, how the story is written for the guy character. He doesn't come off as anything but a guy who obviously seems that he can't get women unless he does what he does here. Yeah, it's terrible, and you would think that he would have a better way of getting women, but, he's just not threatening enough. Making matters worse is the character only known as the accomplice, played by Cecilian O'Brien. I mean, he whines and cry so much at right around the end of the first act that it just becomes annoying. He's like, come on, can we kill this guy already? I mean, I understand he's supposed to have the somewhat moral compass between the two, but he couldn't scare a 10-year-old, let alone a grown woman. There's no way in the world that no one would feel threatened by not this guy, but even the main guy character. They just don't bring the type of scare that you would need in a film like this. Another problem that I have with the film is the pacing, and it slows down right during the middle of the second act of the film. There's a certain scene that takes place that doesn't seem to fit the story, and it takes over 20 minutes dragging the film down, and it really doesn't make any sense. I won't say what it is, but I'm pretty sure people who have seen it know what I'm talking about. It's like, what? You're going here and you're having all this? It was fine just to have these three characters in and just seeing them, seeing how Eve fights back, seeing what these two guys are going to do, and seeing how they're going to capture her and see how she's fighting back. It would have been better and much more paced better if we didn't have that extra almost 20, almost 30 minutes of footage. Even at the end of the film, I felt as though it was dragging too long for the film to conclude. So, despite the nice setting and a good performance by Lucy DeBay and some good practical effects, we do get some nice gore in here. We do see some blood. I believe this particular version of Little Red Riding Hood falls short of the mark. It's okay, but I can't. I believe some people might like it, but I did not enjoy this film. So, I'm going to give Hunted 1.5 out of my 5 bloody gold coins. Only get 1.5 out of my 5 bloody gold coins. Yeah, the guys are just not threatening enough. Lucy the Bay is the only good thing that happens in this film. I do like the setting. I did a pretty good job with the cinematography and the setting. But that's about it. I wish they could have done a better job. And so there you have it. That is my video and review for Hunted. This is now playing on Shudder, so if you want to check it out, be my guest. If you have seen it, please leave your comments in the comment section below and tell me what you thought about Hunter. Also, if you want to help out with this algorithm, please like and share on this video as well. Also, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. That way you'll be notified anytime when I put up new videos such as this one. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G, and always remember that horror rules! And I'll see you in my next video. I'm out.